At this time, we would like to post the colors by the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 5 in Eau Claire, and Vietnam veterans. So, at this time, color guard, post your colors.
There, can hut. Forward, turn. Forward, buck. Lift, 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 right, lift. Prepare to post the colors. Hold.
Please remain standing.
Present. Hold. Order, hold! Color guard, retire.
While we're standing, let's pay a tribute to our flag with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Ready? One.
Present, hold!
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, hold!
At this time, we were going to have the national anthem sung. We don't have anybody to lead it, but how about we just all sing it together, please?
Stand up!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, and the sights and bright stars through the perilous skies, o'er the ramparts we watched, they're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, bloodthirsty in air, gave proof throughout the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, hold!
Two. And now if we can have our opening prayer with Chaplain Craig Goldberg. Please remove covers.
Almighty and loving God, we bring hopeful hearts into the 6th annual Vietnam Veterans Commemoration Recognition Day as we seek to help each other and our fellow veterans in need, direct our efforts to lift this community up towards God's kingdom and earth, In spite of any personal differences, may the same dedication given to our country in war now be directed to lift the spirits and morale of our land, so that we may truly be under God and undivided by any enemies. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, Dennis gave you a little chance to talk.
You may see now.
A little chance. Never give anybody a little chance. Well, Joe, I have to apologize. Joe Morrow came in the other morning and was finding this all up. And so if I got here early enough to give the meal prayer, well, it was like 11:35, and my son called. He's actually on leave. He's coming home from San Diego for a couple of weeks, so I wasn't going to miss that opportunity. I apologize for not being here to start the table grace, but I hope you understand. Well, Joel asked me to do this, and it just was almost like a shock in the sense is that all of a sudden when you're asked to talk about the Vietnam War, and you have to go back. You have to go back to some place that you kind of stored away. You know, it's just kind of it's back there. And so yeah, it opened up a lot of memories. And as I think about this, my first experience with the Vietnam War was in 1966. It was my cousin was coming home on leave from boot camp. And his plane exploded over a cornfield in Ohio. Everybody died. We had the funeral, and in that casket was a uniform and a few teeth. That was the Vietnam War. That was the beginning of the Vietnam War. And then from that time on, of course, with cousins, I had a brother over at True Life. Now that I got him back, I go True Life. And he was over there. He was over there for 14 months. Went out for early out. I remember when he came back in Fort Lewis, and they had to change out of the uniforms to get off the airplane. The day he got out of boot camp, out of Fort Campbell, and he came back home, we went to the movie up here. Sam Miner was at the movie theater. We got it for nothing. You wore a uniform, you got to the movie for nothing. You know, that was our community, that was our world, and how quickly that changed. You know, and I seen the motto on here, a generation, never again shall one generation of veterans abandon another. And that really, really struck home. Because that's how it was. You talk about every veteran that I've ever dealt with, the shunning, the shame, coming home from once, you know, you gave it your all, coming home and nobody appreciated it. Actually, a friend of mine told me when he came into Washington, a member on that plane died. An injured warrior died on that plane before they could get him off because of the protest. So that's a different world. And with your dedication, you know, that will never ever happen again. You know, that what is being put out there, you know, my son's been in for 15 years, he'll be 16 in September. You know, he had joined up right out of high school. And he's still active in the Navy. He's training people who do navigation on LCS, littoral combat ships, which are being made down at Marinette. And then he'll be heading out on his last tour at sea. He'll retire at 38 years old. Can you imagine? And then he'll start off with some other thing. But the irony of that part is that in 1973, Dave Leibert and I went with Tony here down to Glenville Naval Air Station to take our Navy physicals, because we didn't want to go into the jungle. I mean, Nixon stopped the draft in '72. Everybody felt pretty confident that that wouldn't happen, but it was still going on. You know, Saigon fell in '75. I mean, it was a chance that it was going to happen again. And so we went down there. We were 17 years old, went through the physical, and well, we couldn't sign for ourselves. We had to have our guardians. It never happened. They weren't going to sign for us. You know, and so we went on our separate ways, but my son went in 2000, and Dave's son went in 2003. That was Staff Sergeant Patrick Black. So that's the difference. You know, another generation away. They're still out there, and you know, I see this as the longest war. Well, I'm looking at the names, the different operations that are happening over there. We went to war in 2001. We're still at it. It doesn't look any better. It's still going on. I'm not sure how they'll ever list this one that's going on. They keep changing names on different operations, but that's the world that we live in. That's the world that we're going to be living in. And without people like you, who are willing to step up and support, you know, our kids, who are out there on the line, making a difference. It's going to get shunned again. And so, but thank you so very much for pulling this all together. So that this will never happen again. We're always going to have war. That's the important part about it. There's always going to be differences and power struggles. And when you come together as a community of support for whatever's going to happen, thank you for being here to make sure that this will never happen. You are there to support the next generation who goes on to defend not only our freedom, but our way of life and our ideals, to defend that flag. So, short personal reflection, there's so much more to go on, but we need to change gears and get the next guy up. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain Craig Goldberg. Really appreciate it. We look forward to your closing prayer. At the next part of the ceremony, I would like to introduce Gold Star Father John Bacco, retired Command Sergeant Major, to do the honors for our POW, MIA, and fallen soldiers. So, John, would you like the microphone with you?
I'm going to talk a little bit about this little white table over here. As a Gold Star Father, that table has a lot of meaning for me. And also, my dad's brother was a prisoner of war in World War II as well, so we had that in our family as well. I knew Uncle Billy just passed away last November at the age of 93, but it was quite a story as well. But as a sergeant major at the 88th or at any level of command, I always, it was my duty to talk about that table when Dennis was looking for somebody to do it. And he had picked a couple guys and they said, I don't want to do that. I volunteered and said, I can do that for you. So bear with me as I read. Those who have served and those now in service of the United States are ever mindful that enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain and imprisonment. We call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs, MIAs, and fallen. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones, so we join together to pay tribute to them and bear witness to their absence. The table is small, symbolizing the prisoner, alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood that they have shed to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. Ensure the freedom. The rose also reminds us of the family and friends who keep the faith while awaiting their return. The yellow ribbon on the base represents thousands of yellow ribbons that demand a proper accounting of our comrades who are not among us. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt on the plate reminds us of the countless tears of families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is the candle of hope, lighting their way home to the open arms of a grateful nation. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice for our freedom. So let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all of our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families.
John speak again, and this man, and I'm very happy to call him a friend, and he's a friend of all of ours. So at this time, I'd like to recognize the veterans that's in here. Do we have any World War II veterans in here? Please stand. Elmer Wisher, everybody knows Elmer. He's a landmark in our area. Any others? Okay, Elmer. Good to have you here. How about Korean War? We have any Korean War veterans in here? None. Oh, yes, we do. Vietnam veterans, please stand up and take recognition. We're very happy to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Bring your friends next time. I also want to remind you that the Vietnam veterans can sign up for $100 for a lifetime membership with VBA too now. So anyway, how about let's see, there was the Persian Gulf. Persian Gulf. Thank you. Desert Storm. Happy 25th anniversary. This is your anniversary of 25 years. As you know, the Vietnam veteran didn't get that, so we want to make sure you got it now. That's part of our motto that we give, that we will make sure that our next brother's line will not be forgotten. All right, Desert Storm, Iraqi, Afghanistan vets. Any that I may not have mentioned? Good, we got those. Thank you all for being here. Thank you families for supporting your veteran and for being here to show honor and respect.